Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Not a Sheep podcast. My name is Narwhal. I'm here with Matt.
What's up?
Matt, I just got back from Vegas, which, first of all, was I felt very safe there in terms of COVID. There was I was kind of worried, but there was insane amount of sanitation everywhere, and there wasn't a whole lot of people, so I felt pretty good, but I'm back. I'm healthy. I am safe. But when I was there, I just saw so many billboards, not billboards, but ads on the Vegas Strip on these huge LED screens.
Yeah.
With they promote magicians and dancers and artists and groups and stuff. And I saw an ad for Christina Aguilera and Gwen Stefani, and I just don't understand how and why they still perform in Vegas all the time. There's people that are, I think they're called residents of Vegas, meaning they have a regular show.
Okay,
5 times a week for I don't know how long those contracts go. But dude, if you're Christina Aguilera, why in 2021 are you still performing in Vegas? She probably has hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, I feel like you could tour, but I wonder what that implies, that there's that many people constantly just vacationing to Vegas and wanting to see shows and stuff like that.
But do you think if you had what Christina Aguilera had, that level of fame and money, do you think you would ever get sick of performing? Or do you think they just love it? It's as an artist, that's just what they want to do.
Well, there's a lot of artists that do hundreds of shows a year, but I feel like at one place like that, I don't think I could ever do that. I think I could. I mean, I've never done it, but I feel like I would enjoy touring, so maybe I could do the whole a bunch of shows a year.
Yeah.
But I don't know about one place in Vegas for my whole life.
I know, that's what I don't know. I just saw it and I just really am always mind blown. There's David Copperfield, one of the most famous magicians. I mean, and obviously as a magician, that's kind of the main place you want to be.
Right.
Musicians have more options, but he's still there. I mean, obviously not during COVID, they're not performing, but dude, I would just go insane.
Yeah.
If I performed at a show, even if it's at different places in Vegas, if I'm there performing, I don't know, 4 days a week, 5 days a week for 25 years.
Yeah, that would be tiring.
It would get exhausting, but I don't know.
Maybe we're being dumb though, and maybe it's because that's if you're a magician, you that's the ideal place is Vegas, but still that doesn't seem like that'd be very fun.
I know, yeah, maybe that is the for music artists, it's not really anymore, but it's kind of LA.
Yeah,
maybe that's maybe he doesn't want to be anywhere else other than Vegas, but I don't know, man. I would just get so exhausted. But also maybe Vegas pays her a huge she gets paid not only for the shows, but also probably a huge exclusive contract to to be in Vegas.
Right, totally.
So I don't know, man. It just blew me away. And while we were driving down the Strip one day, Matt sent me an unreleased song, which will be out. I don't know when do you think that'll be out?
There'll definitely be new music in January. Okay. I don't know if it'll be that song specifically. But
okay.
Yeah.
But Matt sent me this unreleased song, which was so fire, and I just rolled down all the windows in the car with my family, and we just were blasting Matt's song on the Strip.
Right through Vegas. Let's go.
And we were at a stoplight, and we were the first car on the crosswalk. So just know there was people in Vegas. I leaked your music potentially to someone's ears in Vegas.
Oh man, wow! I'm gonna be big now.
I know. One day from now, not one day from now.
One day from now, tomorrow.
One day, someone will hear that, and it'll be one of those people in Vegas, and it'll spark a little memory in the back of their brain.
They're gonna be I heard that from that random person that drove by for 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. How was your Christmas? What did you work on any music? What happened with music while I was gone?
It was good, really good. So I was definitely before Christmas, first 20 days of December, in a cold streak of not being able to I was making music, but it just wasn't normally when I make a song and it's good, I know right away I'm this is gonna come out.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare when it's I make something and I'm nah, this isn't it, and then it is one of my better songs.
Yeah.
And so it was just a lot of misses. And I was just okay, I'm pumping out these songs, but I'm just not feeling it right now. And then I kind of I didn't really take a break, but just kind of relaxed a little bit. And then on the 24th, night before Christmas, I was just messing around and I found that beat for that song I sent you and like knocked that song out. And then like ever since then, I've just been like going rapid fire. I've made like 5 or 6 songs since then. But
wow.
I'm excited now.
Do you think that most hit songs are songs that are, you know, made in a night type of thing? Or do you think they're songs like most hit songs are songs that are, you know, with like months of thought put into?
I think it's kind of a weird between of like a lot of the majority of it is like knocked out in like one session, but there's a lot of songs like I think Lemonade, the Don Toliver, yeah, that song. There's a video of one of like the producers of the song like laying down the vocals for it like 3 years ago.
Wow.
And so it was like an idea that was had all that time ago that they were just kind of waiting, and they probably presented it to like Nick Mira and Internet Money. And then they were like, all right, who should we get to sing this hook? Don Toliver. He's like one of the biggest artists right now. And so it just worked out, and now that's a hit song.
Dang.
So, but I'm sure all the majority of the work was like in 1 or 2 sessions.
Yeah. I've thought a lot about recently how there's probably some songs out there that were made, you know, 7 years ago, and they exist, but like they never gained any like real exposure, like never went huge.
Yeah.
But like I bet if that same song was like same lyrics and everything, but released originally for the first time today, maybe even with the same artist, it could be like big. It's just the time period in which it was released.
Totally.
Or it could be where like if it was released but with like a different artist singing the hook, or like a different artist doing one of these verses who's like currently trending or whatever, it could be like a biggest song in the world.
Totally. Yeah, that's like, it's all about perception, whether that's like an artist you're already familiar with doing a song, you're more likely to like it, or like the way you hear it for the first time, I feel like are the biggest factors on whether or not someone likes a song.
Yeah,
but yeah,
100%. Well, while I was gone, you one day you posted on NAS one day, and it was kind of a weird situation. You want to explain what happened?
So I thought I like messed up at first. Okay, so anyways, in our previous episode, we were talking about like things I'd learned in 2020, and I was talking about this Boi-1da quote. If you don't know who Boi-1da is, he's like one of the most legendary like hip hop producers. He's like, him and 40 are like Drake's go-to producers. But anyways, posted this clip or this quote of me quoting him saying like, making beats is like making a canvas for artists.
Yeah.
And I break down the quote or whatever, we post it, and we just happened to clip the video right after I say Boi-1da says this.
Yeah. So like it made it look like Matt was saying this quote himself.
Yeah, like
as if
this
it
is
was
what
his.
I think. And it for all okay. Anyways, when we posted it, we tagged Boi-1da. For some reason, he sees it in like the first few seconds, and he doesn't know who we are.
Yeah.
He probably sees this account like a podcast, or maybe he thinks it's like one of those hip hop accounts that just posts clips of people talking about stuff.
Yeah.
And he probably thought the person posting it thought I was Boi-1da. And so he was like confused and commented like, that's definitely not me, but he's right.
Yeah.
Because it was like a quote he says a lot.
Yeah.
But like he was convinced I was someone like impersonating.
Yeah. And so like, dude, and Matt texted me, like screenshotted the comment, was like, yo, Boi-1da just commented. And then I was kind of worried because I was like, oh shit, like, is he mad?
Yeah.
Not that like, I mean, there's times when like, you know, people will get mad about stuff on social media, and you know at your heart you didn't do anything wrong.
Totally.
It's just like something was taken out of context.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to like offend someone that you're like, that you really admire.
Right. And I like thought about it when I was writing the caption. I'm like, oh, I should make sure I put Boi-1da like in the caption so that it doesn't, so our followers don't think I'm just like making up this quote for myself and trying to sound like, oh, I'm such a smart producer, I know all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about someone that doesn't know who we are, like what they would first assume when they see it.
Yeah.
And I guess Boi-1da is just really active on social media, because then I like tweeted about it and I was like, this is kind of funny. Like Boi-1da thought I was impersonating him, and he responded right away and was like, yeah, I thought you thought I was him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a complicated situation.
Yeah. It was just funny though, and it's cool that someone with, because he has like what, like 300,000 followers.
Yeah, but
something?
I'd say he's more successful than like the biggest producers that have like big producer names, like a Metro Boomin or something. Like, because he's produced some of the biggest songs of all time, like mainly because of Drake, like God's Plan and stuff like that. But he's produced for every name you can think of.
Yeah, that's weird how like a lot more people know Metro Boomin than they know Boi-1da.
Right, and it's just, I mean,
he's just a bigger
not that
name.
Metro Boomin's not like huge and produced these amazing songs, or same with like a Murda Beats, but like Boi-1da doesn't have a tag, so like that's another reason we don't know him. There's no albums which are like Drake and Boi-1da.
Yeah, why doesn't he have a tag?
Maybe it was someone else, but I remember him, a producer that doesn't have a tag, saying something like, I don't want that, like I want them to be able to recognize it's me through the actual music.
Oh, so like you just by listening to the song alone, you should be able to tell it's me.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that could totally be someone else. I could just be misquoting that again, but but anyways, Boi-1da is one of the most like successful, like legendary producers. He did most of like the If You're Reading This It's Too Late album.
Yeah. Do you think that or do you know, I guess, are most producers that are, you know, world-renowned producers, like all the guys we've just named, are most of them kind of self-taught, just like grew up making beats and just got really good and connected with some people? Or are they like, they seem so mysterious to me. Like, I don't really know their journeys, really.
Boi-1da is self-produced or self-taught. I remember, because I literally, all this stuff came from me watching a bunch of his interviews like recently. Yeah. And he was saying how he started making beats like when he found Fruity Loops on his laptop, and then like went to a beat battle one year and was
What's a beat battle?
Like it was
it's like a rap battle, but they go and just like play their beats and
literally just play beats, and there's like judges, people decide who wins.
Are there like fans? They go like, oh,
well, like a lot of people go. That's how Illmind met Kanye. Like he was like a nobody, and just like Kanye, before Kanye was Kanye, like 2003 or something like that, was just like one of the producers at this battle, like helping run it. Yeah. And like Illmind was there and was really good, and so they connected. But
dang.
But anyways, with Boi-1da, he's saying how he went to this competition and he was all nervous because like all these people are like, yeah, I make my beats with all this equipment, blah blah blah. Like I use all these keyboards and stuff. And he's like, oh, I just make it in my laptop. And everyone was kind of like not hating on him, but like they were like, okay, that's kind of cute. You're here. Yeah. Like you're not really a producer. And then he like won it 3 years in a row, like right off the bat.
Dang, that's sick. So he was like a pioneer with the way producing is now.
I would say so. I mean, I'm sure there's other guys that I don't even know about that did stuff like that, but his style of producing, like I don't think there was many people. It's the whole like it's looked down upon to like just make beats on your laptop and like click in everything, but like the most successful producers all work that way. All three of the guys we've talked about, like Murda Beats, Metro, and him, all produce that way.
And it seems like way more efficient in terms of just timeliness and
it's
ability
like
to crank
telling
it
a video, or like someone that does video, like, oh, you don't film on film, like you're not a real videographer.
Yeah, because you
don't do film and develop it, and like
and literally cut it with your hands on each frame. Yeah, no, I mean, it's cool that we have the ability to do that now. Like, imagine if, as a film editor, you still had to literally do it by hand and there were no programs for that. Like, that would be miserable.
Yeah,
but
it's ridiculous.
I see you got the Lyrical Lemonade hoodie on.
Oh yeah.
I also have to I have to say, if you guys aren't on YouTube, first of all, go check out our YouTube version of the show. We have full episodes on there. But if you guys look at Matt's hoodie, his two strings, the drawstrings are
not even.
Different lengths. No, but I love that. That's
what
I do with mine. I hate when they're even, because I think it's a look. Like, that is a style.
I didn't really think about it, but yeah.
But like, if mine are even, I'll intentionally make them uneven because I think it looks better. What do you think?
I think like a couple inches different is better than like trying to make it equal and it being slightly off, because I feel like that would bother me more. Like, I don't really think I'm not that like OCD, but I don't know. What do you think of people tying them? Because that's like a new style.
I think tying could be cool. I mean, maybe not for me, but like, I think people can rock it. Do you like the Lyrical Lemonade hoodie?
Yeah, it's dope. It's like probably my favorite hoodie I have now, but I just needed some hoodies and I was like, I want to get some like something hip hop.
Yeah.
I was like, Lyrical Lemonade's got some of the dopest music videos and like best designs when it comes to like I don't know, just style.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that like, because I feel like you don't really listen to that many of the
like
guys.
Those kinds of artists.
Those
totally.
types of artists.
Yeah.
Usually.
It's more just like, I really like Cole Bennett is sort of the equivalent of what we were just talking about Boi-1da, but with video. Like he was the kid making it all on his own, just off of his laptop and making these huge productions where it's just him.
Yeah.
And like, that's like, it's more of like I respect that than like, I'm a huge fan of his content, you know?
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, if you're not like really into hip hop, Cole Bennett is this guy who is a music video director, editor, and like he does that. He started off doing all of it. He'd film it, edit it, direct it, but now I think he just directs it and edits them.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a big crew.
Yeah, he has like a whole production company. Like Lyrical Lemonade is. Yeah. It's not a label though, right? Like they don't have artists signed, do they?
I don't think I could be wrong, but I think they have a lot of like they have a studio and like at their like office or whatever it is. I've seen that, and so like I think that's more like they bring artists through and they'll work, but it might actually be a label now.
Yeah, but they're mainly like a huge production company in hip hop. But what's so inspiring to me, and I think to a lot of people that love hip hop, is that it quite literally, like I've listened to a lot of interviews with Cole Bennett, and he was saying that like he was grew up in a small town in, I don't even know,
near
like,
Chicago?
Yeah, like outside of Chicago, and he just had this idea in high school of like something involving lemonade, and he eventually like drew the logo and came up with this idea like during classes of Lyrical Lemonade, and he said he just loved hip hop, and then somehow he connected with, I think Lil Skies was kind of the first artist that was like coming up that he worked with that really helped them both get big. And I remember Lil Skies has this song called Red Roses, which was like his big song or whatever. But I remember when that video came out, like I had just kind of slowly heard about Cole Bennett, and this video just blew off. Like it went crazy. And it's just cool for me, and I think any artist, because it really shows that like he literally just did it on his own. He just would reach out to artists near Chicago that he liked, film a video, go home, edit it that night, or like for days or weeks, I don't know. And like he just did literally all of it on his own and built a huge company.
It makes you realize it's honestly, this isn't that complicated. You kind of just got to do stuff. Like it's like he had his resources, which wasn't very, like he didn't have great resources, but he used what he had and just did it. Like a lot of people are just like, well, I got to get this first and then I'll reach out to artists. And if you just do it and get good at it, that's the only way to make things happen.
I know so many people get caught up in not even starting something because they're like, I don't got a good camera, I don't have the right computer, I don't have whatever. And it's, you know, if like even going back to the producers, if Boi-1da can make these on his laptop in 2003, like you can probably figure out a way to do a music video or to something else on your own. And I remember I saw some behind the scenes photos of Cole Bennett filming that Red Roses music video, and he at the time he had the same exact camera I had. And he filmed it with nothing. Like he didn't have a tripod, he didn't have a stabilizer. He literally had his hands in a camera and like one lens. Maybe he had more lenses, but my point is, if you go watch it, it looks like this very professional high budget video, and he just got good at editing.
No, but also the thing is that's super cool about it is like his limitations created these like new unique styles of his videos. Like if you look at, I don't know if this is a good example, but the one with Ski Mask where they're like in like New York, I want to say, and it's like really trippy. I think it's for Catch Me Outside, but like it's all stuff you can do like on a laptop, but it's like it kind of gets that not vintage, but like not lo-fi, but like a like cheaper effect, but it like is used in a stylistic way that actually looks good.
Yeah, and Cole Bennett really has been a pioneer in like the way hip hop videos have been edited and produced. Like they just didn't look like that up until a couple years ago. And now a lot of videos are imitating this style of kind of like these creative transitions and these creative like editing things that you do in After Effects and whatnot. But it's like people knew how to do that before. That it's not like he was the first one to ever do that. It was just he was the first one to really like use everything at his disposal that he could and like make something creative.
I don't think there's anything dumber and like not cool, in my opinion, than just a stereotypical music video where it's like high budget, like there's music, like there's lights flashing. You're like with your boys and you're all like turning up, or you're like at a club, or you're like with a bunch of girls. It's just like, we've seen this a million times. Like, why did you, like, this costs a lot of money to do, and it's like, that's why I like Cole Bennett, is because they're like unique and like weird. Each
video's way
like
different.
The one with Kanye and Y&W Melly, you're like, what is going on? But that's still way doper than like, oh, I've seen this literal music video a million times.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I see, like, I still get shocked. I can't believe that artists still release these types of music videos where it's like, all right, we're going to rent 3 really expensive cars. We're going to park them in a parking lot, blow some smoke in from the sides, and then just like kind of have a stabilizer go around in circles and film you near these cars. It's like, that's so overdone. Right. It's not even cool.
Totally.
But yeah, and with Cole Bennett, he's another example of what you were talking about with simplicity in beats.
Yeah.
Like, some of his videos are absolutely insane. Like, they probably take months to edit.
Yeah.
But then other ones are very simple. It's just cuts, and it's like, that's how you know when a director, or same with a producer, is talented, because they know when to make something simple and when to implement like complexity into it.
Yeah, and I think people, if they saw our Instagram post of us talking about like simplicity, they may have gotten the impression that we were like, yeah, don't ever make complicated music, and that's not it at all. Like, a lot of our favorite music is like John Bellion, where there's like so much stuff going on, or like even like a smaller artist like Kevin Hackett. Like, that's not like simple music.
Yeah,
like there's stuff like really going on in these, so there's a time for both.
Yeah, and someone commented on that clip where we were talking about simplicity, and they were like, yeah, that's true, but then there's artists like Aries.
Yeah,
and Aries released a song with over 300 layers.
Yeah,
which I don't produce. Is that like,
that's
insane?
A lot of tracks. Yeah, like, I mean, some of these beats that like Boi-1da's talking about being simple are like 10 sounds, but like I'd say beats I make are anywhere from like 10 to like 20 if there's a lot of tracks on the sounds. I do a lot of vocal stuff, so like I have a lot of vocal tracks.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, that's like when you're in the hundreds, that's a lot.
Wait,
that's like an insane amount.
Wait, so you have like 10 to 20, and like other people have like hundreds.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying like one's not necessarily better than the other.
No, totally. But like, it just depends, because there's things like, I've recorded songs where I do a lot of different vocal stuff, so each track just has a slightly different effect, and I get into like, I've had like 50 track songs, but like that's way more than, like, I probably could have done the same thing with like 10, 15, 20, 30, like that kind of, yeah.
Dude, that just blew my mind.
No, it's insane, yeah.
Like 300, like, what even are like, what could you possibly put in there? What are all the different sounds?
There's just probably layers and layers of like this is a keyboard, and then playing the same notes, we got a pad playing that, we got like other, like a guitar under that, and it's just like different layers, different melodies going on.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not Aries.
But yeah, if you guys have never seen any of Cole Bennett's videos, I definitely recommend going on YouTube and just searching Lyrical Lemonade. I mean, they're obviously all hip hop, so if you're not really into that, then it's probably not your thing. But
if you're into hip hop, you'll probably find 1 or 2 artists at least that are into or something, and you'll probably like those videos.
Yeah. And it's cool because he's done, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 videos with Eminem. No, 2 videos with Eminem now. He did one for Godzilla, and then one just really recently. What was that song called? Nat.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy that he went from like doing random artists, and what's cool is he'll still do, underground artists.
Yeah.
Just if he likes someone and they're like a hometown artist, he still will do videos. But what's cool is he posts them all on his own channel.
Yes.
Which is a very, very smart, business decision. Whenever I'm sure in the contract, whenever he agrees with an artist, it's like, it's not getting posted on your page.
It's the whole ownership thing. Like, he's taking ownership of these videos.
Yeah. It's like the same way artists want to like own their samples.
Totally.
But it's cool because this channel has, 2 million subs or something now.
Yeah.
And so all these artists get at the very minimum like 500,000 views on their video.
Right.
If
really
not
good.
way more, because you're amongst, Eminem, Juice WRLD, all those guys.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about it. And he's also responsible for guys like Lil Pump blowing up and stuff like that.
Ski Mask, a
Yeah,
large part.
like he was a part of their community and helped them blow up equally as much as like those artists helped his videos blow up.
Yeah, it's awesome. But anyways, something else that I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Is our boy J. Cole.
Ooh, the fall off.
It's fall off.
Not here, but it's soon, I think.
If you guys don't know, J. Cole tweeted first of all, a couple weeks ago, we were so wrong.
Yeah.
We thought that he was dropping like a whole project or something.
Yeah, we're like, maybe it's another double single, and then just nothing. We're like, I think it was like an ad or something he posted.
It was
an
ad for his Puma sponsorship.
So we missed.
We should have known better. He's done that in the past too, where like he says like dropping tomorrow at like 9, and people think it's music, and then it was like a commercial for Puma.
Yeah.
But anyways, he tweeted, or was it Twitter or Instagram?
I saw on Instagram. He probably tweeted it too, but he just posted a picture of this piece of paper, and I'll like read what it says. But he's basically explaining that the fall off, this album everyone's like been thinking he's gonna drop since KOD, like it is an album probably. It's like a project, but from the picture, it's more of like we're in the fall off era, because on it says like step 1 like features, that's checked off, and then Revenge of the Dreamers, and then that's checked off, and then the off season is next. So I think that's like a continuation of his like mixtape series. I don't know if it's going to be a mixtape, but like that's kind of what it's in reference to, because you got the warm up, Friday Night Lights, the come up. I feel like the off season kind of fits that sort of vibe.
So, okay. So you don't think this is like, so let's just break it down. So you don't think that, what's it called? The off season. You don't think that that's going to be like just another full album in the sense of like what KOD or 2014 was?
Well, I think it probably will be like an album on streaming and stuff like that, because I don't know, he'd be kind of dumb to put it on like any other platform. But I think that's the next project, is the off season. Yeah, the off season.
But you think it'll tie into the mixtape vibe of his older ones?
I don't know if it'll like how it will, but it just reminds me more of his older music. It's more like it's like slightly sports themed with like Friday Night Lights, the warm up, and like what was his first album? Cole World, Sideline Story. It's like kind of more that vibe. But then he's got another project. It says after that, It's a Boy, which I'm sure is more focused on like, does he have a son now?
Maybe that's, he hasn't like announced it, but maybe he's gonna have a son. I don't know.
Yeah, and then after that, the fall off.
Yeah.
So like the fall off could be like 2023, or this could all be this year. Who knows?
Yeah. No, it really could, because it could be like one album a year for the next 3 years.
And he's also talked about doing the project for like his other what's it called, like Kill Edward, because he wants to do a Kill Edward project. Maybe one of those is that, but like probably not.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I feel like I don't know why, but I think that if he does a Kill Edward album, I bet that he just won't even tweet about it on any J.
You think
Cole
he'll just
accounts.
put it like he did with the other Kill Edward song?
Yeah, I think it'll just be put out on a Kill Edward Spotify. Is there currently a Kill Edwards page?
But on Apple Music, I looked, and there's the song he did as Kill Edward, and then obviously the features from the KOD album. But then like someone else was smart enough to like make songs under the Kill Edward name, and so it shows up on the same page, and they probably got a bunch of plays from that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if he's getting ready to do a project, he'll talk to Spotify and get those other songs removed. But I don't know. I think that'd be cool to hear that project. I heard him say like he wants to get like Young Thug on it and stuff like that.
Do you think he'd do the distorted voice the whole time?
Yeah, I think that'd be the point. But the thing is, the way he kind of describes Kill Edward, it's like almost like, this is a bad word, but I don't really know how to describe it any other way. It's like his trap, like mumble rap kind of moniker. But the songs that he's on KOD aren't like that. Yeah. They're like the more chill hip hop ones.
Yeah.
But so I don't really know.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Kill Edward is like J. Cole has this alter ego, I guess.
Yeah, because for years, it was for the last 2 projects before, he was kind of known for not having features. And so when he dropped KOD, he dropped the track list, and everyone's like, oh, who's Kill Edward? But it was just him doing like a different voice, kind of to play on the whole like no one else features on my music. But I'm to the point now where I don't really like features when it comes to albums. I don't know why, but I just feel like if it's like a concept album, Like it works in certain settings, but like I don't know, like I really like it has to be done the right way. Like, because I was thinking about like 2 Kendrick albums I really like, Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn. And I feel like the features on Damn are way more intentional to like the story than versus like Good Kid, Mad City. Like there's some really good features on it, but like the one on the song Mad City, like it's a great feature. But like Drake on Poetic Justice, it's kind of like it almost comes off as like this has to be like our radio Drake song.
Yeah, it's like like you're gonna throw Drake's name in there.
Yeah, versus like even though it's like Rihanna, U2, and Zakari on the Damn album, which are like you could just be like, yeah, Rihanna's on there to make it like a big hit song, but there's a lot of stuff in like the way she's rapping on the song that really tells like the story of the song. Yeah. And so it seems more intentional. So I'm more of a fan of like less features, but I like features on singles and stuff like that.
That's a really interesting point. Because I was thinking that exact same thing, but didn't really know how to like express it the other day. But that's the way you said it. Like, is it intentional to developing the story?
Right.
And I think that's a really good baseline on like if the feature is like should be there or not. Like,
totally.
Like, does this artist make the story better, or are you throwing this artist in there because of their name or because they have a certain audience that is going to listen to this song or whatever? And like, obviously, I'm not saying the songs on albums with features are bad. Like, some of them are bangers. But what I did notice, the newest Jack Harlow album, I have 4 songs in particular. I'll pull them up. But 4 of them in particular, I just absolutely love. And I've had them on repeat. And the whole album's great. Like, I really like it. But all 4 of them don't have any features. Because I feel like it's almost easier to tell. It's easier to understand a story for me in a song when it's just one artist.
Perspective. Or, one person,
And so it's the song Rendezvous, Keep It Light, and then Baxter Avenue. Sorry, there's 3. Route 66 is really good too, but that has a feature. But for those, it just like, I don't know. I felt the same way where it's like when I listen to, for example, 2014 by J. Cole.
Yeah.
It just feels so
and it's
easy to consume.
I don't think it's the perspective thing too, because there's really good songs in there like '03 Adolescence that are like he's rapping from like another perspective to himself. Yeah. And I'm like, it's done so well that it's like there are times when you can bring in a feature to rap from that perspective, but I don't know, it's just it works really well. Or like To Pimp a Butterfly, there's only a few rap features on it, and it's like Snoop Dogg and Rhapsody. Yeah. And they're very intentional verses for the songs. And there's a lot of singers and a lot of vocalists on the album. Like, it's not just Kendrick, but it's all done in a way like where, I don't know, maybe if you had Drake or you bring in Jay-Z to do a verse, it kind of would just, it would be really hard to get them all on the same page to make this story better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was actually, well, I think that this perspective we're talking about is like the difference between someone who just likes listening to music and someone like you who's like really like actively
wants to dive a little bit deeper
of music. Yeah. And I was watching a video. There's this guy named Thomas Flight, by the way, who makes cool videos on film. If you guys are into, watching videos on film or film analysis or whatever, they're super cool. But he made a video the other day that I was watching, and it was like it was all about the intentionality of one take shots in film. And I was intrigued because, there's a lot of one take music videos,
right,
where the whole thing is one shot. There's no cuts, no mess ups. And he was talking about that in film because there's a lot of times where, I don't know, have you seen 1917?
No, but I know that it's like a one-shot movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's not entirely, but it's made to look like it's one shot. And basically, he was saying, like, there's different motivations. There's like 2 reasons that you would want to do a one take. It's to enhance realism or to, like, enhance, like, the emotion or the intensity of a scenario.
Right.
But if you do a one-take shot for something other than those reasons,
it's just for that, like, artsy, like, I don't know the right word, but
yeah, it's just to like be different. Like, right. You're doing it not for any real reason.
Totally.
And I feel like it kind of probably relates to what we were saying about features, is like, if you just have features just to have a feature, it doesn't do much.
Right, exactly. And that's like another like small album that I think is really intentional is like there's a lot of features on Youth, the Kevin Hackett album, but they're all like, I don't know, like I really like Cabin, where it's like you got Drew and Levi rapping, but they're kind of like all saying the same thing almost, and it's really, I don't know, it just works together.
They
really
complement
well.
each other really well.
Yeah.
I was thinking, could you do a song where it has like 10 people on it, okay? But it's not, but it's like still normal length, because what they do is like they don't all get a verse, but like they share verses.
Yeah.
Where someone says like 4 words and then the other person like continues and finishes the sentence.
I bet there's like a lot of, I don't know many like Wu-Tang songs, but I mean, it's Wu-Tang. There's so many people in that group, and I don't think all of their songs are like the Logic Wu-Tang song where it's like 7 minutes of verses. But like that'd be cool. Or I bet like, I don't know, I still haven't really gotten super into their music, but Brockhampton has a bunch of guys in their group. So like, I'm sure they have songs where it's like, you might only do a few lines, but I think that's dope. Like, I love like back and forth rap where it's like, say 2 lines switches, say a couple lines switches.
Yeah. That's why I like Earth Gang.
Yeah.
Like they'll do that sometimes and it sounds so cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's funny to me that we almost have never really talked about Jay-Z at all on this show.
Yeah.
It's funny because like he's such a huge part of hip hop.
Yeah, he's probably definitely the biggest rapper we've literally never even mentioned probably until this episode. Actually, maybe we mentioned
We talked
him.
about he had like a beef with someone that we talked about a little bit.
I don't know if it was when we were
Nas?
talking about Nas. Yeah, it probably was when we were talking about Nas then. Yeah.
But
yeah,
we should like, I don't know, we should maybe do like an old like throwback album review where we go and listen to something that like, because it's sadly I just don't listen to Jay-Z.
I mean, I don't really listen to him either. He's got, I mean, obviously there's probably, you could make a hit playlist of songs that we would just know just because like they were huge songs.
Yeah.
But like I think we have a Jay-Z album up on the wall. Yeah. But the only albums I've really listened through are like that one, the recent ones like 444, and I think I tried to listen to Reasonable Doubt when I was younger, but like I feel like if I went back to it now, because that's like pretty accepted as like his classic. I mean, he has a lot of classic albums, but that's like the one I think. And I know there's a couple like J. Cole songs that he's remixed on his mixtape, so we'd probably have that same sort of moment of like when we listen to Aquemini.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So going back to J. Cole, so basically at the top of the page it said the Fall Off era, right?
Right, and that's kind of what's encompassing all this, the albums and projects we're talking about.
Yeah. So the first one on that list was Features.
Yeah, in like 2018, if you didn't know, he did this like crazy run where he was just every time like a pretty big like hip hop artist was coming out, like J. Cole was featured, and he's not normally known for doing a bunch of features, and so he was just kind of all over everything, and every time he would kind of like steal the show.
Yeah.
And like through that is actually how he got his first Grammy, because the 21 Savage song A Lot is like he had a guest verse on it, and they ended up winning, I think, rap performance of the year or best rap song of the year. But
yeah, and it was cool because bro, it was, I swear, like every 2 weeks there was a new song featuring J. Cole, and it was like all of his fans were just in heaven because they got all these awesome songs.
Right, and it's like I think he did songs with Offset, he did songs with Young Thug, like Travis Scott, like people you never expect.
Like a bunch. And what the cool is, I didn't even know who Moneybagg Yo was, but because I'm a J. Cole fan, and it was a video by Lyrical Lemonade.
Yeah,
they released a video and it was like, oh, featuring J. Cole. And I only listened for J. Cole, but as a result, I now became a fan of
I didn't know there
artist.
was a Lyrical Lemonade one for that. I only knew he was in the Off D's one. And that was also like, I was big into JID at the time. So like when he was on Off D's. Maybe you're thinking of that one.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of that one. But he had a song with Moneybagg Yo as well.
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But
yeah.
Wait.
But the video you were talking about.
It's by JID.
Yeah, JID.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's what's cool about that is like, I think it was my friend Dakota was saying, he's a little bit older, like that's almost the closest like equivalent you kind of like had a moment like that to like what Lil Wayne was doing back when like the 2000s, where he would drop like 3 mixtapes a year and he would be featured and have all these songs that were just huge. Like he was doing all over everything. Like that's sort of the modern equivalent to that.
Yeah. Well, it's just cool that I don't know, like it's bigger than just J. Cole being on someone else's song, because it's like it can change this person's career if he does it. So it's not just that like he wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or how am I trying to word this? Like, it's so much more than J. Cole being featured on a song, because if you get J. Cole featured on a song, that potentially changes your whole life.
Totally. Yeah.
And so I think, like, not that he has to do it, but in a way he has this like responsibility.
Right.
I don't think that's the right word, but he has the ability to like change so much by doing so little.
Even with like an already established like artist that's going to be around for a little bit, like a 21 Savage, him being on that song makes someone like me like actually open up to like, oh, this isn't just like the bank account guy. Like he's actually like 21 Savage. He's not like rapping like on J. Cole's level, but he's like talking about real stuff on that song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like he isn't just like a gimmicky rapper. Like it kind of opens your mind to it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And then you ended up remixing that song.
Yeah, and that was the first video he did.
Yeah. Bro, that was still so sick. When you look back on that remix, do you
That's
like
one of the
cringe, or do
few
you like
ones
it?
that I don't cringe. Like there's things where I'm like, oh, I wasn't really delivering the verse very like confidently.
Yeah.
And like there's things I would change, but like of all the other music I made that like year around that time, like that's by far I think the best one I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did a bunch of features.
Yeah.
Then what was the second
The
part?
Revenge of the Dreamers 3 album.
Oh yeah, and that was by Dreamville.
Yeah. Where he basically did the opposite of what we were talking about with albums and got like at least 3 or 4 artists on per song, but like see that's with the intention. Like it's a good intention with that. And they made this album they had like 50 plus artists and producers in this whole studio they rented out for like a week, and then their goal was to just make an album, and they ended up making enough songs to have an album and a new deluxe album, and then there was songs that came out of that on other projects, but basically just brought all these people together. And there's smaller artists like Buddy who ended up getting a lot of attention and now are doing super well for themselves.
And now Buddy is a huge one. Wow, what did I just say?
I just
stuttered.
One.
I just stuttered so bad.
Yeah.
Buddy is a perfect example of an artist that was like, making it, but because of that album and all the songs he was on like...
It was that extra push he needed.
Yeah, it was the push he needed because he was on a lot of those songs, and now I'll go out of my way to go like, oh, Buddy just dropped a song or a project.
Totally.
I'll go listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then those were the 2. Then the next one is the off season.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, right?
Right, yeah. And that's like, if you really think about, that's a really big gap from when, like the off season could be coming out soon. I think just because Revenge of the Dreamers came out a while ago.
Yeah.
Like 2019 summer.
Yeah, so.
I mean, he's had a lot of time.
It's been a minute.
Also, False Prophets and what's the other song he dropped right before For Your Eyes Only? Do you
want me to look it up?
Yeah. So he dropped 2 singles before For Your Eyes Only that he said are singles for this project called The Fall Off.
So it could be 3 years from now, but those songs will be on The Fall Off.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he makes changes, but he said those were meant for that album. And 1985 is like called the intro to The Fall Off. So I don't know if that means like it's track 1 of The Fall Off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or if it's just like this is like a preview of it, kind of.
Yeah, bro. I love Well, first of all, to go back to what you were saying, the 2 singles were False Prophets and Everybody Dies.
Yeah, Everybody Dies. So those were singles that he says are meant to be on The Fall Off.
Okay, and then 1985 was a song that was a part of...
It was the last song on KOD, but it says the title is 1985 Intro to The Fall Off.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means track 1 of The Fall Off, or if that means like I said, like a preview, almost like at the end of a Marvel movie. It's like after the credits, they have like a little setup for a movie in 10 years that's going to come out. Dude,
if that's kind of like... I think that 1985 is a really powerful song and like a really important message for anyone really, but particularly artists. Is like the whole song is kind of about, he's referring to Lil Pump.
See, I feel like him and Eminem tried to do the same thing on like that year of when Eminem did the Kamikaze album. It was like but they came from different like intentions. It was like they were both trying to like teach the young rappers like this is what you have to do to stay around and be relevant. But Eminem came off like you all suck, and then J. Cole came off like I'm like trying to mentor you. Like I don't want to see you fall off. Like I want to help you guys like make your money and like be successful.
That's a really good point. Because those came out the same year.
Same year, yeah.
I didn't even think of that because Eminem's Kamikaze album was not received very well.
Not at all.
People didn't really like it. They're like, oh, this is just like an old guy doing a diss track on a bunch of young guys. Like,
exactly.
That's not cool. But J. Cole, he wasn't dissing them. He was,
and also, after he went out of his way to interview the person everyone thought he was attacking.
Yeah.
So to like make sure people knew that that wasn't the intention.
Yeah. But basically the song was about like, you know, how to make it as an artist and like just trying to value the right things.
Right.
And like placing your importance on things that are going to sustain your career and your happiness and
totally
not on all the bullshit. But if that's kind of like, I don't know. So do you think the fall off is like his end all be all? Like once the fall off, it's all over?
You think he might retire? I mean, he's been playing with like thoughts of retiring since like after Forest Hills Drive, but like I don't want to see him retire.
I know. I don't want him to ever retire. I don't know. Like, do you think Eminem will retire, or do you think Eminem will still be like, you know, 64 dropping mixtapes?
I feel like guys aren't gonna retire. I mean, they might. I feel like there's no need. Unless you like know for sure that you're just done to like make a moment like oh yeah, this is my last album, because then it comes off as like gimmicky and stuff like that. Unless you're like, I mean, like Logic was like, yeah, like I'm very confident that I will not drop any more albums, but like if he comes back, like everyone's gonna be like, what was that for?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
But you could be like Dr. Dre, who's in his 50s and like still working on music, still producing, but like doing behind the scenes stuff, and then it's like every once in a while, like if he wants to, he'll make an album.
Yeah. That would suck though if like, you know, Michael Jordan is not as good at basketball now as he was when he retired.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's older. And I was thinking, what if Eminem's like 77 and he wants to rap, but his lungs can't handle it, so he tries to rap and he can't even rap because he gets so out of breath, and then he passes out.
That's the thing.
It's got to be depressing.
That's the thing. It's like with rap and music, like yes, your physical like age like can have an effect on it, but it's not the same as like an NBA player. Like people, like when there was rumors when Jordan was 50 that he might like go back and play, it's like he might be able to like compete with certain people, but like there's no way his body it would take such a toll, and it's so different than like you could rap until you're 70. You might not be able to. Eminem might not be able to make Godzilla when he's 70, but he could still make music.
Just imagine. He's got like white hair, or he's like bald, and he's all
just
wrinkly.
An angry old man, like legitimately an angry old man now.
Oh, what were we talking about? I had
J. Cole.
Okay. This is kind of out of left field,
okay.
But so you were talking about like if someone retires and they're just like done for good.
Yeah.
So the other day I told Matt that I just watched this movie called Being John Malkovich.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's a really weird movie, and this is a spoiler for that movie. So it's really good, but this is a spoiler. So just do you think you'll watch it or not? Can
Probably
I tell you
not.
the spoiler?
You can tell me the spoiler.
Okay.
If you want to skip ahead like a minute,
2 minutes,
I don't know.
It'll be done. But so John Malkovich is a famous actor. Like in real life, that's his real name. But he's playing himself in this movie.
Okay.
And in the movie, the premise is like these people find a portal to where you can literally become him, and you take over John Malkovich's brain for 15 minutes.
What the?
So like imagine you walk through a door and you literally become like Drake for 15 minutes, and then you get kicked out.
Yeah.
Okay? So in this movie, eventually someone takes control of John Malkovich, but permanently.
Okay.
He figures out how to break the system, so he's just this guy now.
Yeah.
It's just some random dude took over. But what happens is he announces to the public, like, yeah, I'm done acting because I don't like acting anymore. I'm going to pursue a career in puppeteering because this guy's into puppets, which is really fucking random. But my point is, what if somehow that happened where like someone took control of J. Cole. And they're like, and J. Cole announces he's retiring, but in reality, he doesn't want to retire from music, but this guy who took over his brain wants to go pursue like dancing.
J. Cole is in some like dancer's body, and he's like really trying to rap, and everyone's like, nah, you suck. Like, you got no shot.
I don't know, but like when J. Cole retires, all I'm saying is
it's not him.
Keep an eye out, because he might not actually be retiring. It might be someone else taking
He
over.
might have swapped bodies with someone that wants to go to the NBA.
Exactly.
That's the whole story.
Oh my God. Oh, J. Cole, when he joins the NBA, it's someone else taking over.
Bodies, yeah.
Dude, I think we solved it.
Exactly.
I think that's it.
What if he swapped it with someone that really wants to go to the NBA, but is like not, they're like 5'8", and so like.
No. It's still J. Cole's body.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's like your brain in his body.
Yeah. But he swapped it. So the person that is now J. Cole previously was like 5'8".
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, I want to go to the NBA, and they're like, now I'm J. Cole, but J. Cole is like 6'3", 6'2", and he's pretty athletic. So like, maybe we could make this work. Yeah.
Bro, just imagine if like J. Cole just like one day just sucked at rapping out of nowhere.
He's like,
because someone took over and all his talent is gone, because it's like my brain in there. I can't rap.
That would be so funny. Well, that kind of brings us to, if you have more to say, but it kind of brings us to the other thing I wanted to talk.
Oh yes, no, go for it. I'm on a far off tangent.
Well, me and my friends were hanging out the other day, and we were just being idiots talking about like stupid deep stuff. But like, he asked me the question of like, if you could go back to when you were like 13, we'll say, or 12 or 13, and you have 5 minutes to decide right now, but you go back with the knowledge you have currently in this moment, would you do it? And I thought about it for a second, and I was like, no. But then I was like, wait, what am I thinking? Like, if I went back to when I was 13, like, one, school would be really easy. So like all the like stress and like the problems I had when I was 13 would be like nothing.
Yeah.
But also with all the like music knowledge I've gained, not that I know a ton, I would have such a head start that I didn't have before. And you would know like, oh, this is when this platform is going to blow up, and I can get a head start on Vine and become like a YouTube rapper and like figure out all these ways to go viral, and also like do boring stuff like invest in stocks and make millions of dollars. But
that doesn't sound boring to me. And you could bet on all the sporting events.
Yeah.
You literally could predict the future.
The thing is, I feel like you have to be super careful to not become too famous right away if you're trying to go that route of like betting on stuff, because the second if you become this viral like rapper, say, and I don't know, Kevin Durant happens to like hear my music, that could have an effect on like, maybe he goes about one of his days different, and then like he ends up losing on this game I bet on.
Oh, you change history,
and
Matt.
Then so you want to be careful. You want to like kind of stay on the like low key, but like what I would do is like I would like get my older brother who was like 18 at the time and be like, yo, like I'm gonna buy these stocks with this money I have, and like you can keep half of it, and we kind of just like have like a few grand on the side that we like I use for like music, but without like, because if there'd be a story that would come out if like this 13-year-old kid predicted every single stock and like bet correctly, and
you would get like arrested because
right, or there would be these stories about it, and like if I became like Justin Bieber at like a young age, like I wouldn't have as much of a like predictability, you know what I mean, of what's going on in the world.
I see. Things would change too quickly.
Right. So you kind of would want to like, I would want to like become like a YouTuber or something and like build a little platform that like could set me up for when I'm older and then go viral. Oh. And then the other question is, do you do the whole, is the movie called Yesterday, the one about the guy that recreates all the Beatles songs?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert. But the concept of the movie that you see in the trailer is basically one day he wakes up and everyone forgot who the Beatles are.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
I've seen the trailer.
And so he's like, wait, what? Like, no one knows who the Beatles are? And then so he just like writes a Beatles song, puts it out, and it's like a hit.
Yeah.
But there's like a few other people he finds out in the world. There's like 2 or 3 that also still have a memory of the Beatles.
Oh, shit.
And so they're like, what would you do? Like, would you like recreate a Drake song from like, would you make God's Plan and put it out in like 2013? Like, what if people don't like it?
And you would just, in your core, you would feel like a fraud.
Right.
Because you would know, like,
Totally.
I didn't make that.
Yeah.
But you also, at the same time, you could just use that. You could copy, like one
ideas.
song.
Well, the thing is, it would be pretty inevitable to, like, even if you were making totally creative songs, like, there's flows and, like, stuff that I think about that weren't really either popularized or done until, like, years later.
Yeah.
That, like, you would kind of accidentally become a trendsetter no matter what.
Yeah.
Because of the knowledge you have.
Or people wouldn't like it. Like, you can release God's Plan, and like I said before, it might have been too early.
Totally.
And people don't like it.
Right.
So you got to release it, like, the same day.
Yeah. Or I was like, the problem you would run into is if you recreated these songs is, like, say it's 2013 and you recreate this hit song from 2016. There's times when there's songs that have, like, been recorded years in advance that just don't get put out for a while. And, like, imagine that artist, Drake, has this song he's been holding on to, and then, like, I put out that pretty much exact same song.
Yeah.
He's like, someone must have leaked it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah.
What about, let's say you don't do any of, like, plagiarizing. You don't take anyone's stuff. It's just your own talent and your own songs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could, if you were 12 with all the rapping and producing abilities you have now, how long do you think it would take you to, like, get famous? Or could you get famous?
I think it'd be kind of, like, it might take a few years, but, like, I think you could pretty easily, as a 13-year-old, like, make all these rap songs, put them out on YouTube, and, like, think about how viral something like that would go back then of, like, this 13-year-old kid can rap just as good as this person.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff would take off really easily, and I feel like with the knowledge I have, I'd be like, oh, also, like, I know in 2013 there's artists that I really like Futuristic, who haven't quite taken off yet.
Yeah.
And you could, like, if I get a little bit of a following, reach out to artists like that,
and
or reach out to
them.
Yeah, and blow up with them. Exactly.
Dang.
Well, so much strategy that's useless that I've been thinking about.
Hey, you don't know, Matt.
This has
one
been
day, one day it might be useful. I saw, or I heard, I guess, about the kid Leroy.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't even know. He's probably like 18 or.
Yeah,
I think
he's pretty
like
young.
really young. But there was photos of him with, like, I think it was Ben Simmons, who's an NBA player. But it was like years ago when the kid Leroy was like 10 or something.
Right.
And apparently he met him and, like, got a photo with him, and he told him, like, I'm a rapper, I'm gonna be a singer or whatever, like, I'm gonna be famous.
Yeah.
And he told him that, and, like, there's photos to back it up, and that could be you go back in time, you meet, you go to, like, a Kanye concert, and you get, like, the VIP thing, so you get to take a photo with him.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey man, just wait couple years, I'm gonna be super famous.
Yeah, exactly. I think, but I was thinking about this for way too long, and I got, like, so caught up in it, and to the point where when I kind of came back to reality, I was like, now I'm kind of, like, sad, even though, like, I really love the circumstances and, like, the life I'm in, but I'm like I shouldn't just be, like, fantasizing about this fake world that's never gonna happen. That being said, comment what you would do down below if you were 13 and had the knowledge you had right now.
Yeah, let us know. I'd love to hear it. I think about, if I wish I started all the stuff I'm passionate now years before.
Totally.
I think the reason a lot of people are successful at things are because they start when they're, like, 4.
Right.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the best athletes are really good because they played, like, 4 hours a day when they were, like, 5 years old.
Yeah. There are exceptions, but yeah, like, that's the majority of it.
Yeah. And so if I wish I started my podcast when I was, like, a freshman in high school, because I would have got so much better, so much quicker.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't really dwell on that stuff because it's like you didn't, and it's like that's just
it's
life.
Like, at least you didn't wait 3 more years to start.
Exactly.
Like, you're kind of in that situation that you wish you would have been in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like, if you started music now.
Yeah, I would be like, oh, I wish I at least started messing around with it in high school.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that's a wrap, Matt. This has been fun.
An interesting episode.
Yeah, guys, we do have more interviews with a really cool producer coming up, a couple really cool artists coming up. So if you guys have any ideas for people you want us to interview on the show, maybe you yourself are an artist who doesn't suck, reach out to us because we'd love to interview you.
Yeah.
But Matt, where can the people follow you, check out your music, all that jazz?
So you can follow me at the Matt Mogg on Instagram and Twitter, and then you can look up my music under Matt Mogg on any streaming service.
Let's go.
Let's
New
go.
music come in January?
Yes, and this will be out in January, so it's a new year.
Sweet. I'm excited. You guys can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also check out our other show called Peaked in Middle School that's in the same studio. And with that being said, there's new episodes of this show every single Monday. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.